Morning, guys. Keith at Crypto Bullseye, and this one's going to be an update on Jasmy Coin. And there's so much fear in the market at the moment. There's so much uncertainty. There's so much doubt. And what are the markets driven by, guys? Human emotions. Each chart that you look at is a representation of human emotions. When we're going down, negative sentiment in the news. So we look at the bubbles, guys, and you can see exactly what impact the news has got, what geopolitical tensions and what impact they've got. We're red on the week. We're red on the day. Crypto market, the speculative high risk asset game that we're in, guys. When something gets hit, high risk gets hit harder. That uncertainty goes down the risk curve, guys. And you can see that we've got a few things going on. We've got the tensions, the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. That's creating uncertainty. That's creating fear. We've got the FOMC. Nobody knows what's going to happen. There's pretty much, guys, a guarantee that we're not going to get any rate cut today. However, is he going to start turning dovish? Is he going to give any indication of a rate cut going into July? Because there's a high probability of a rate cut going into July. So if we get an indication of that, guys, the market will jump on the back of that. The markets will start moving up and the markets will start driving after FOMC. So it's an important day as far as the crypto world's concerned. We're back at the 48. Last week we were in greed, back in neutral. We've got Jasmy Coin. Let's dive in. Let's take a step back and breathe. What do we need to do on Jasmy Coin? What needs to happen on Jasmy Coin? But unfortunately, guys, we've lost a key major level. That key major level was the one that we were talking about that we needed to hold for this bull to start regaining any control, to start taking out the trend, and to start taking on the bear before the next tug of war battle happens at this level here, which is 0.01575. So we're going to build in some levels, guys. We're going to build in some levels. We're going to use a Fibonacci retracement from this swing here to find out how deep it was. And you can see the level that we lost here was a 61.8% retracement. You know that's going to be a strong level. 61.8 is a magic number. Clues look left. Bounce, bounce, bounce. You got the wick up there. You got a bounce here, support, and now this is acting as resistance. You got a rejection candle here. That's bad. That's indicating that you got further downside, and the next support zone is 0.01091. Now, when you're entering this territory here, guys, one thing you can see when you're entering this territory, the 1 cent level, guys, is going to be a strong number. 1 cent is a strong psychological number. 1 cent is a strong support base. If we pull back, I'd expect 1 cent to hold. So that's what I'm looking for in Jasmy Coin, guys. 786% retracement, around about between 1 cent and just over 1 cent. So we'll stick a price on there. That's where the 786 is, 0.01101. Right, okay, where is the next resistance barrier? Because this guy here, get rid of that. This guy here, he was all the way up here and he's been pulling down and pulling down and pulling down. You can see each time, guys, that you put in a lower high, that lower high becomes your next resistance point. So where it was here, it's come down here now, and now it's come back down here. So the bear's moving down and the bear's moving down. And the aim of the game is for the bull to take out the bear. For the bull to take out the bear, he needs momentum. Where's he going to get momentum from? Just stick a price on where the bear is now. 0.01344. So that's going to be the area to beat in the short term. Now, we're looking for our indicators. We're looking for momentum. We're waiting for a break. And we're waiting for an indication to understand when the bottom is in. This could carry on going down for all we know. Pull back, bam, back up, and then drop the 786. For all we know, we could drop the 786 and do something like that. So we need to prepare. We need to understand exactly how we can understand where there's confluence, how we can understand where there's sticking points. And to do that, we bring up the indicators. So the first thing that we needed to do, we said it in the last video, the RSI needs to take back the 50 level. The RSI has come massively, massively, massively oversold. Now, one positive thing that we can get out of this, let's just have a look at this. One positive thing you can see here, there's your low. You've come up, you've put a lower high. You've come back down, you've put a lower low. So pay attention to this, guys. You've put a lower low there. So price action and the bears are intact, where you're putting the lower lows, you're putting the lower highs, and you're putting the lower lows. Right. Now, we're going to bring up the RSI now. We're going to do exactly the same thing. And you can recognize here, we talk about divergences and the powers of divergences. This is a shorter term divergence, guys. This is saying if this level holds here, this indicates the buy-in, this indicates the sell-in pressure. And you can see that we've put a higher low on the RSI and we've put in, get rid of that, a lower low as far as price action is concerned. So it's coiling up for a bounce and we're waiting for the next move. So the next thing we're going to do is bring up the stochastic. How is this going to react? Are we going to come oversold before we get another move to the upside? Remember in the previous videos, guys, we said aim of the game, as the stochastic comes up, guys, you want to be taking out the previous lower high. And if you take out the lower high as the stochastic comes overbought, That's indicating bulls have got momentum. It's a signaling shift, and it's showing you that this is potentially the low that's in. So this is what we're looking for, guys. We're waiting for the low to be in. At the moment, the bears have got control. We've dropped the 618. Looks like we're going to lose the 618. That means we're going back to the 786. 786 is just over 1 cent. So how are we going to react if we get to the 786? But ultimately, we're waiting for one thing. Waiting for, when do you get real momentum, guys? We say it time and time again. Break of trend, break of trend, break of trend. So if you're looking to get into Jasmy Coin and you're looking to trade Jasmy Coin, guys, this isn't the right area for me. We could come back down here. We might not. We could. The area for me is once we've got a break of trend, then I can understand that that's the low. Then I can stick my risk to reward tool in. Then I can understand that I'm shooting for, in this example, the previous high. And what does that do to my risk to reward? 4.31 risk to reward. Now, 4.31 risk to reward, guys. What if you're taking it over here to the next resistance point? What does that do? 1-to-1 risk to reward. Now, as far as a 1-to-1 risk to reward is concerned, is that a good risk to reward? Definitely not, guys. That means that you've got to win over 50% of the time because you've got to factor in fees, you've got to factor in all these expenses. You've got to win more than 50% of the time. And then that gives you a break even, guys. Why do you want to break even if you're winning 50%? If you can bring your risk to reward up 2-to-1, 1.4-to-1, whatever it is that works for you, that gives you an edge. And if you can retain a 50% win rate, guys, when you've got a 1.4, 2-to-1, anything like that, guys, then that makes you consistently profitable over time, and that'll give you a higher reward with less risk. So it is a waiting game at the moment, guys, on Jasmy Coin. Unfortunately, I can't give too much projections as far as extensions are concerned. I can't give too much projections as far as retracements are concerned. We've got this 786 here. The 1 cent level, I think, is going to be a real strong key psychological level, and I think that's going to be a strong buy zone. And I think that we will get strong buy zones here at this 786, at this 786, because failing that, guys, you're coming back to test this low. And then it's going to be more resistance, more resistance, and more resistance. The bear's going to keep coming down and keep coming down, and it's going to start getting harder and harder to regain these levels. So it is a waiting game, guys. By the end of today, by the end of tomorrow, we're going to have a clear direction, or more of a clear direction, as far as geopolitical events are concerned, as far as what the FOMC is concerned. Then we're going to have an idea of how to play it going forward. But at the moment, guys, it is a waiting game for today. But I am going to keep you posted. I'm going to keep doing videos today. I've got Cardano next, so I'll see you in the next one.